Hey, what's up guys, it's Joe here, and in this tutorial I'm going to be showing you how to create an intro in Cinema 4D, and I'll probably do this over 3 parts. So in this part I'll cover materials and lighting, and in the next part I'll cover animating, and in the final part in After Effects I'll cover compositing and stuff like that, and rendering as well. And so to start we're going to go to MoGraph and MoText, and I'm going to go to the Object tab. I'm going to type tutorial time. And I'm going to set the align to middle, and I'm just going to rotate it until it's in the center like that and zoom out a bit. Then I'm going to select a font, and I'm going to choose Agency FB and bold, and you should have this font already installed on your computer, but if you don't I'm sure you can find it online. And I'm going to decrease the vertical spacing to about -35, that's pretty good. I'm going to increase the depth to about 80. I'm going to add a fillet cap to the start and the end. I'm going to put the radius to 3 and the steps to 2, and that gives it like a nice smooth look on the front for a render it out. And that's a pretty good start. And the next thing we're going to do is we're going to create the backing for the text to slam onto. And to do this we just go to the front view. I'm just going to zoom in a bit until we can see the grid a bit more clearly. I'm going to select our Bezier spline tool, and I'm going to click where the text starts and where the first line of text ends, so that's here. I'm going to be a bit different here. Instead of having like a square or rectangle backing, I'm going to make it a bit different. I'm just going to add a corner to it and make sure it lines up. And if you don't like a point, if it's not in the right place, you just come to your move tool and just select the point, and you can just edit it like that until it looks good. I'll just move this forward a bit, move that forward, so it's symmetrical like that, and that looks pretty good. Just going to move it down just a tiny bit. Okay, and for the next point, okay, you can spend as much time on this as you want. I'm doing it reasonably fast, but you can spend a lot longer if you want to get it perfect. Just make sure it's symmetrical on both sides. And I'm going to do the same that I did to this side here. And just select this point, just drag it a bit like that, and that looks pretty good for the first text backing, but we're going to add another one in a minute. But first I'm going to add in the extrude NURBS and drag the spline into the extrude NURBS, and then I'm just going to click on the extrude NURBS and I'm just going to move it back so it partially covers the back of the text like that. And I'm going to put the depth or the movement to about 40, and just make sure it covers part of the text like that. Then I'm going to add a fillet cap to it and put the radius to about 3 and steps to 2 again. And now we're going to create the second backing. So to do this we're going to go to our front view again. And I'm just going to take off the extrude NURBS so we can just see the spline. Actually, I'll add it on. And then we're going to select our Bezier spline tool, and we're just going to create something else here. Just drag that forward. There we go. Actually, let's just go around it like that. There. Looks pretty good. And then across like that. And then just move into the middle. And make sure it's centered about here. And then I'm just going to click down. Actually, I'll probably make this bigger. I'm just going to select this point and move it like that. And then I'm going to take our Bezier spline tool again and click about here. And then do the same as we did on this side. Click about here. And select this point so it joins up, and then I'm just going to move it back like that. And that's our text backing. It looks pretty good. Maybe I'll just increase, actually. I'll just move these backwards, or I'm going to move this one to the right and this one a bit more to the left. Like that, and that looks pretty good. And I'm going to do the same. I'm going to add an extrude NURBS to it. Drag the spline into the extrude NURBS and put the movement to 30 and add a fillet cap again with the radius being 3 and the steps being 2. I'm just going to move this there so it's like in between the other backing like that. And if we render this out, you can see that's looking pretty good so far. And got time to cover materials and lighting. So for the lighting, I normally use Grayscale Gorilla HDRI Light Kit Pro, but if you don't have that, you can just add in a plane, go to the modeling axis, and we're just going to increase the size of it. I'm going to create a new material, check off luminance and put the brightness to about 126 or 5, and just drag that onto the plane and move it above the text and backing. I'm going to copy it and paste it to create another one. I'm going to move this below, and then I'm going to add a light in the center. I'm going to drag it back or forward, towards the camera, and I'm going to put the intensity to about 30. I'm going to add in some ambient occlusion and some global illumination, and for time I'm just going to put these settings to low. And it's looking pretty good so far. We've got a light source at the top and bottom, and got a light at the front illuminating the text. And now I'm going to focus on materials. So create a new material by clicking down here, double clicking in this box. And I'm going to go to color. I'm going to make this kind of a bright blue. I'm going to add some reflection to it, make sure it's Fresnel reflection, it's a bit more realistic, and put the brightness to about 25 and the mix strength to about 50. And I'm going to drag this onto the text, and I might even add a bit of glow to it as well. So say about 10 outer strength and maybe 25 actually. 25 and 50. And then I'll render this out, see what it looks like. So we've got some cool reflection going on the tops and the bottom of the text. And now I'm going to add a material to the backing. Make sure it's almost black but not quite, and add some reflection to it. Fresnel reflection again, put the brightness to about 10 and the mix strength to about 50, and drag that onto both of the extrude NURBS. I'm just going to name these so you know which ones they are. This is the front and this is the back. And see how this is looking. See, it's looking pretty cool. We've got the reflection on the text and the reflection on the backing as well. And I'm just going to come into the backing, and I'm going to go to points mode again. I'm just going to go to the front view. I'm just going to move these back and move this down so you can see it a bit better, and that should look pretty good now. Yeah, so that's kind of the effect that we're looking for. And now we're going to add a outline here. Let's see how much time we've got. Okay, I'm just going to have to do this quickly. I'm going to come to the front mode, and I'm just going to select our Bezier spline tool, and we're going to outline the text again, but this time we're going to be making like a kind of a sweep NURBS outline thing. I'll show you how to do that in a minute. So we're just going to outline the text. Front. Okay. About there. There. Move it down a bit. There. I'm just going to be following the outline of the backing until we get something that looks kind of like that. And if I go back to the perspective mode, and then I'm just going to add in a sweep NURBS this time, and I'm going to add a circle as well. I'm going to drag the spline into the sweep NURBS and the circle, and then I'm going to put the radius on the circle to about, actually I'll untick that light so you can see a bit better, to about 3. Then I'm just going to move this sweep NURBS backwards like that. Okay, that's looking pretty good. And then I'm going to add another material. I'm going to make this kind of a really bright blue. Like that. Add some luminance to it, about 125% luminance. And make sure it's blue again. I'm going to add some glow to it. I'm going to put the inner strength to about 50 and the outer strength to about 75. I'm going to drag that onto the sweep NURBS. So as you can see, we've got this cool outline around the edge of the text like that. And I might just want to check off that light so you can see a bit better. And there we go, that's the first part of this tutorial done. So I'll say if this tutorial gets, say 50 likes, I'll upload the next part, and the next part will be on animating. So thanks for watching guys, and I'll